The film industry has been adapting different mediums for a long time, from novels to comic book storylines with signature characters, with some becoming groundbreaking and Oscar-winning achievements, such as Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings trilogy. Amongst the slew of film adaptations based on literary works, a new medium caught the industry's attention: video games. But unlike the many successful book adaptations, video games haven't been so lucky. Hollywood began the trend in the 90s with a live-action adaptation of Super Mario, a film that became notorious for its deviation from the colourful and vibrant world of the games and turning it into a dark dystopian fantasy film alongside a hellish production. Years after the film released, legendary actor Bob Hoskins, in a 2007 interview with The Guardian, was quoted as saying, "It was the worst thing I ever did. Super Mario Bros. It was a nightmare." So why? Why is turning a game into a film so difficult? This requires two answers. Video games are an interactive medium, requiring direct input from the player who control a character through set pieces within a carefully designed narrative, or can make up their own narrative through hundreds of hours of playtime. They are designed to be that way, so turning a game into a film will go against that concept and losing that interactivity in the process. There is also the fact that games are already heavily influenced by films, so that making an adaptation will often make it out to be a poor rip-off of already existing material. Most adaptations ignore the source material. History proves that writers and directors of these adaptations only take the broad strokes of the material and hand-wave it for their own ideas that don't align with the brand contextually. Paul W.S. Anderson's adaptation of Resident Evil embodies this problem. This adaptation turned the slow horror game series into a bombastic slogfest while simultaneously undermining the source material within the new context, consisting of poor scripts and continuity across 6 films. The treatment of the IP was met with scathing reactions from both fans of the games and critics alike that Capcom, Resident Evil's owner, made their own films which were reviewed more favourably. In Adaptation and Appropriation by Julie Saunders, Saunders argues that previous knowledge in the adaptation process isn't necessary to make for a satisfying film, which is true. A film needs a strong story and characters to succeed. Saunders does recognise, however, that having previous knowledge or research can enrich the viewer's experience, particularly if the viewer themselves has prior experiences with the work. This creates expectation, something that many video game adaptations have failed to meet because the vision of the adaptation was weak, especially if the adaptation is from a source established with a strong sense in storytelling. Saunders also makes the point that adaptations take the approach of simplification, an attempt to make things more comprehensible to sell it for a new audience unfamiliar with the original source. This is what happened with Resident Evil and so many other previous adaptations. The story and characters were heavily reworked to fit not just the new medium, but also to appeal to a broader audience that the crucial essence of the original source material is either removed or replaced by hollow interpretations. Translating one medium to another is like translating a language, and things don't translate well without the proper talents or research. Despite the struggle of previous adaptations, there has been a change in perception with the likes of Paramount's Sonic trilogy and Amazon's Fallout being praised for their accurate take on the story and characters, all because of one crucial element. The production team researched the games, the style of writing and tone. Sonic and Fallout were not completely one-to-one, but they felt accurate to their game counterparts, which in turn pleased the established audiences whilst bringing in newcomers. So what can be done to make adaptations better? From all the research I've gathered, studios should seek creatives that respect and understand the material they have set out to adapt, even if they wish to deviate, because deviation isn't necessarily a bad thing. Jeff Fowler, who has directed all of the movies in the Sonic trilogy, understood this. The films are set in their own continuity, but the charm of the characters and the universe they inhabit from the games remains intact, all due in part to the performances and writing. Jonathan Nolan, who adapted Fallout, was public about his admiration for the games, and with the help of franchise overseer Todd Howard, not only did he understand the license, he also decided to make a story set in the world of the games, but was a completely original story and became successful as a result. The point I'm laboriously trying to make is that the industry should do more when making adaptations. Fallout and Sonic prove a lesson that you can tell an original story within the source material that is accurate, or a story separate from the source material while still maintaining the essence of what came before and respecting your established audience. Filmmaking is difficult, as one filmmaker's vision might not connect with audiences, and in the age of the internet, viewers have the means to express issues with studios, hence why Sonic was redesigned for its adaptation, and it led to great things. With the right minds, adaptations of games can become better with the right vision, alongside assessing what established fans want. Comic book movies struggled, but in time found their place, and I believe video game adaptations are just starting to, but only time will tell.